Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. As you can see on the board behind me, today is Friday, February 12th, and I'm really excited because today is the official day that we start Unit 1. We're actually going to be working on putting in 2 pages into your notebook. One is going to be the title page, and then the other is actually going to be a very important page because it's going to act as the foundation for a lot of what we're going to be doing with the analysis of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So let's dive into the blog. Let's take a look at what we're going to do today. Okay, today, ladies and gentlemen, you can see we are going to work on that title page. And we are going to be working on some notes, and we're going to be answering this question: what is the hero's journey? So, let me read the message to you. It says this: today we will begin Unit 3, Critical Analysis and Evaluation of Literary Texts. So Unit 2 is about informational texts. Unit 3, we're going to go back to analyzing literary texts, so literature, stories. You will also be introduced to something very important called the hero's journey. So the do now asks you to make sure that you write down tonight's homework. And for people who are in school, you can begin making your Unit 3 title page. Your homework is completing page 39 and page 40 in your notebook. You guys are going to be doing 2 pages in your notebook. One of them is the title page. So let's scroll down through our table of contents. And we'll see that those 2 pages are right here. Okay, the last page that you guys have in your notebook is page 38. It is primary versus secondary sources, which we did earlier this week. Now today you're going to add these 2 pages. Page 39 is the Unit 3 title page, and page 40 is the hero's journey diagram. Okay, so first let's go ahead and look at the title page. Now, unfortunately, I do not have my document camera here today, so I will just have to show it to you here on the blog. All right? These pages will also be available to you on the Google Classroom. So here is the title page. And listen, you can be as creative as you want. You guys can color this any way that you want. What's most important is that you have really big, right in the middle of the page, again, really big, the title. And notice, my title fills the entire page. I don't want just some small little title written. This is a title page. So when you look at the title page of a book or the cover of a book, it's big. That title is really big. It takes the whole book, the whole page of the book. So the title, as I said before, is Critical Analysis and Evaluation of Literary Texts. Make sure that it is spelled correctly. It's spelled correctly right there for you as your example. So it needs to be spelled correctly in your notebook. And again, I really want to see you guys get creative and color it any way that you want. Again, you can see I just had some fun playing around with my letters, and I just did some fun decoration around my page. So take some time and make your title page. You can pause me right now and do that, or you can come back to this later. The second page is the most important one. Okay, and this second page looks like this. And for this page, you are going to need to go into your ELA folder, and you are going to have to take out your Unit 3 packet. If you're a virtual student, I mailed these to you. If you are a student who comes to school on either A day or B day, I passed these out. So you're going to need this first page. This first page, it says Unit 3 on it, and it has a diagram, just like this. Okay, you are going to need this page. Okay, so take this page out of your packet. Take the rest of your packet, and you can put your packet away. Now, you'll notice that when you got this packet seems really thick. A lot of the papers in here, a lot of the worksheets are actually quiz questions that you guys are going to be doing digitally, but you have paper copies of them as well, because something that you're going to see that's very different in this unit as opposed to our first unit is that, well, in the first unit we were focusing on comprehension and we were doing a lot of multiple choice questions. In Unit 3, where we're focusing on critical analysis, so there's going to be no multiple choice questions. Everything is going to be written response. So having those paper copies of the quiz questions can be very helpful for you to write down your answers first, and then you guys can type those answers in. But we'll get to that later. All right, so here's the worksheet that you need. And you guys are going to need your yellow, your green, and your orange colored pencil and your highlighters for this. And again, I don't have my document camera here at home, so I'm just going to be showing you the page here, which you'll be able to do. But you are going to need to cut this out, all right? And you are going to want to glue this in. But the first thing I would tell you to do is to make sure that you write all of the notes first. So let's go over the notes, and then I'll talk you through how to color your diagram. Okay, I'm going to zoom in about as big as I can get here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, on here, I do not have the date yet. I never put the date until usually the morning of. So you're going to need to make sure that you put down the date. Today is February 12th, so add the date. I will be adding the date to my own notebook when I do this with you guys in school. The title of this page is The Hero's Journey. And this is page 40 in our notebook. All right, so now we've got several bullets that we're going to write down. The first bullet, and make sure that as you guys put your bullets, you can see my bullets are right along the left-hand edge. They're as far over as I can make them. I'm not going to skip lines with these bullets. Normally, I would encourage you to skip lines. What I did was I color-coded my bullets. I used different colors because the diagram has to get glued in on this page as well. So I want to make sure I have room for everything. So make sure that you're writing neatly. You're writing on the lines. Okay, that's one thing that we really need to make sure that we're improving on as we move into the second half of the school year. Make sure that our writing is neat and our typing is accurate, including capitals and periods. Because if those things don't happen here in the third quarter, and there's a lot of writing, you're not going to be able to earn full credit. Because for a good written response on the 6th grade level, all right, meeting the 6th grade standards, you need to make sure that you have capitals and periods, proper spelling, okay? These are things that are going to matter as we move forward. All right, so let's get into what the bullets say. All right, and what these bullets do is they describe to you what is the hero's journey. All right, again, this is going to be very important because as we read Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, we are going to be analyzing and evaluating exactly how Harry is a hero. And I don't mean a hero like Batman or Spider-Man or the Hulk. I'm talking about something known as a literary hero. Okay, so let's take a look at these bullets now. The first thing that we need to know about the hero's journey, bullet number 1 says, it is a pattern of literature. That is what the hero's journey is. So right now, everybody make your first bullet, write your first bullet down. The hero's journey, it's a pattern, okay? It is a pattern of literature. You can think of it as a pattern of storytelling. That's the first thing. Again, feel free to pause me if you need more time to write down your bullets. The second thing that you need to know about the hero's journey, okay, is the second bullet right here. And it was first identified by American scholar Joseph Campbell. You are going to need to know his name, Joseph Campbell. And so this was first identified. The pattern was identified. I want you to understand that. It wasn't created by Joseph Campbell. It was identified by Joseph Campbell. He is an American scholar. And what that really means is he is just someone that made it his life's work to study. Okay, to study academically. He is a scholar, so he's always in a place of studying. All right, and what Joseph Campbell did was he was purposely looking at American literature, ancient literature. He was looking at literature from all around the world, and he was studying all this different kinds of literature. And what Joseph Campbell noticed was that all of these stories written long ago, some written more recent, they all seem to be able to have the same pattern to them, whether it was Harry Potter or whether it was the story of Star Wars or whether it was an ancient epic of Gilgamesh. And stories throughout history, they seem to kind of fit the same pattern. The characters were different, the situations were different, but overall the pattern was the same. And these authors didn't know that they were all writing with the same pattern. They were just setting out to write good stories. And Joseph Campbell, he kind of said, hey, wait a minute. This story that I just read here, it kind of is similar to this story that I just read, which is similar to this other story. And what he did was he identified the similarities, and he wrote them down into this thing called the hero's journey. Okay, and so the third bullet, okay, right here it says, the pattern describes a typical adventure of the character known as the hero. Okay, so again, what is the hero's journey? It's a pattern of literature. It was first identified by Joseph Campbell. And the hero's journey describes a typical adventure or a normal adventure of the character that we know of as the hero. The fourth bullet right here says, who is the hero? The hero achieves great deeds on behalf of a group. Now, you guys can think of any common superheroes. Okay, even though Joseph Campbell is not talking about superheroes, they fit into this category. One of my favorites is Spider-Man. Spider-Man goes out and he achieves great deeds, whether you're reading the comic books or you're watching the movies. He achieves great deeds, and he does it on behalf of a group. In fact, he does it so much that he self-sacrifices his own relationships. He hides who he is. The hero never does what they do to achieve great glory for themselves. Okay, in fact, they push that glory away. They don't want the spotlight on them. A true hero, a literary hero, goes out and does these things because they need to be done on behalf of a group. Okay, we always think of superheroes as saving the world. They don't save their own lives. They don't do the things that they need to do to save themselves. They do it to save the world. All right, think about all your favorite Marvel superhero movies that are out right now. Okay, they're always going out and trying to save the world. All right, so the hero achieves great deeds on behalf of a group. And whether or not you guys realize this, you have been exposed to this pattern so much already in your young lives. And that's what this last bullet does. It gives you some very popular heroes that you might already be familiar with. So let's take a look at this last bullet. I'm going to scroll my screen up here. Here are some examples of heroes that you guys already know about. All right, and that's what this last bullet is. So some examples. If you're a Star Wars fan, Luke Skywalker fits this pattern that Joseph Campbell is talking about. All right, Luke Skywalker is a perfect example of a literary hero. Another example is Percy Jackson. A lot of you guys are fans of the Percy Jackson series. This is another character who fits this pattern. And I want you to know this list is a very small list. The list of characters who fit this pattern goes on and on and on and on and on. Okay, we could talk about the list of superhero characters forever. Okay, this is just a very short list of some characters I think that you might know. Okay, here's another one, Peter Parker. And if you guys are, again, fans of superhero movies, you know that that's actually Spider-Man's real name. His name is Peter Parker. And I included him because superheroes, in fact, again, they do fit this pattern that Joseph Campbell is talking about called the hero's journey. So Peter Parker and a lot of your other superheroes that you guys like to read about. One of my absolute favorites is Emmett from the Lego Movie. A lot of you guys saw the original Lego Movie. The Lego Movie lines up with the hero's journey. It fits this pattern to a T, exactly. And I love watching this movie, and I know that the creators of this movie are very well aware of this pattern that we're going to be talking about when they went and wrote that movie. And that's one of the things that makes that movie great. And that's why not only do children enjoy this movie, but adults enjoy it as well, because this is a really good form of storytelling. This pattern is a great pattern of storytelling. So Emmett from the Lego Movie. Katniss Everdeen, if we have fans of the Hunger Games, this is the lead character in the Hunger Games series. So Katniss Everdeen. So for the girls, this is not just about male heroes. Female heroes also fit this pattern, and I want you to know that. So Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games, and same as Beatrice Pryor. She goes by the name of Triss in the Divergent series. And again, this is a series of novels. There's 3 of them, but they've also been made into popular movies, just like the Hunger Games. All right, these two characters are perfect examples of characters who fit this pattern. And, of course, Harry Potter. I'm stating right now to you, Harry Potter is a hero. And again, I don't mean a hero like a fireman is a hero, or a police officer is a hero, or a soldier is a hero. Yes, they are heroes, but those are different kinds of heroes. Here we are talking about literary heroes. Okay? So, when we ask the question, who is a hero or what is a hero? Yes, firemen, police officers, moms and dads, teachers, firemen, any nurses and doctors. These people are all heroes, but they're not literary heroes like these characters are. Okay, so now let's look at the diagram. And again, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut out this diagram, and we're going to glue this into the bottom of our notebook. All right, and now we are also going to be getting an outline of this diagram, but let's just focus here on the diagram. Okay, the first thing that you're going to notice is that this right here is the diagram of the hero's journey. So if we start at the very top, think of it as a clock. We start at the very top. You're going to notice first that it's broken up into 3 sections. All right, we call each of these an act. Just like we have Act 1 and Act 2 in a play, in the hero's journey, we have Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. Let's focus on Act 1 first. All right. Now, you guys are going to have to do some drawing on this and some coloring. So, first thing you'll notice is that I've drawn a line straight down from the top to the center point of your diagram. And then the second line goes right here, and it goes in between supernatural aid and allies and helpers, okay? So that this first act, and we're all going to label it together. We're going to label it Act number 1. This first act is called separation, all right? Act 1, separation. This act has got 4 parts. We see them right here. And so I'm going to color code these orange, and it's important that you actually color code them the same colors I have here. The only way I would tell you not to do it like this is if you don't have these colors. We are going to be outlining this as well, and we're going to be using the same kind of colors. In my own classroom, I know that you guys don't all come into my classroom, but we have the hero's journey on the back wall. All of the acts and all of the stages are listed there, and they're all color-coded to match this. So when you see these colors here, it's important that you match your colors, okay? And I have handed out colored pencils, and I've also handed out highlighters. So if you don't have these materials, make sure that you've asked for these in class. So Act 1, separation, we're going to color code this orange. Okay? And so we have the first act, and the first act is broken up into 4 parts. Now, in the next lesson, we're going to dive in and we're going to really learn what each one of these parts is. But let's just look at what the names of them are first for today. So Act 1 separation begins with stage 1, the ordinary world. That's stage 1 of Act 1. Okay? Act 1, stage 2 is called the call to adventure. Act 1, stage 3 is called entering the unknown. And Act 1, Stage 4 is called Supernatural Aid / Meeting with the Mentor. Okay, I'm going to color this orange, and then I'm going to use my orange highlighter, and I'm going to highlight each one of those 4 stages orange to match. The second act we see right here. Now this act, be careful, it has 3 stages. So what I'm going to need to do right here again is I'm going to have to draw this line, and this line is going to go in between the Supreme Ordeal and the Magic Flight. Okay, and that's going to break up my diagram into 3 sections now. Act 2, okay, is called Initiation and Transformation. Now, going back to Act 1 separation, we all know what it means to be separated from somebody. We're split apart, okay? Act 1 separation. Act 2, initiation and transformation. We have to ask ourselves, what do these words mean? What does it mean to be initiated into a club? What does it mean to go through a transformation? The word initiation, or to be initiated into a group, simply means that you are welcomed into this group. This is often seen with different fraternities and sororities in colleges. All right, you become initiated into that group. There might be a ceremony that you have to go through. All right, but you are welcomed in. So when you go through an initiation, that is the welcoming in. You become a new member of a new group. And transformation. Well, growing up, there were these really popular toys called Transformers. There are now movies out, okay, about Transformers. And we know that transform or transformation means to change. All right? So in Act 2, our hero is going to be welcomed into a new group, and they're going to go through a change. And there are 3 stages in Act 2. Say, let's name them, and we're going to make sure that we color code them. So you should color code this green, and then you should highlight each stage green to match. Okay? So Act 2, Stage 1 is called Allies and Helpers. An ally is basically a friend. If you are my ally, you are my friend. Okay, so Act 2, Stage 1 is called Allies and Helpers. Act 2, Stage 2 is called The Road of Trials. This is very similar to the rising action in a plot line. We have studied plot lines earlier in the year, and we actually can take this hero's journey and we can kind of lay it right over the top of a plot line, and we can see how each stage of the hero's journey matches up with different parts of plot. Okay, this particular one, the Road of Trials, is just like the rising action. And as I said earlier in this lesson, tomorrow we're actually going to be going through an outline of this, and so we're going to really clearly understand each one of these stages. Right now we're just naming them. Act 2, Stage 3, it's called the Supreme Ordeal. All right, the Supreme Ordeal. And again, there is a part of plot known as the climax, which matches up perfectly with this part of the hero's journey. Okay, make sure that you've color-coded Act 2 green, and you have highlighted each stage green to match. The last act of the hero's journey is Act 3, and it is called The Return. I would like for you to color this in yellow. Make sure that you've labeled each one nice and neat, big and bold, just like I have done. Okay, Act 3 is called The Return. And in this act, we again, like in Act 2, we have 3 stages. All right? We have 3 stages, and here are the names of the stages. We have the Magic Flight, Confronting the Father, and Master of Two Worlds / Restoring the World. And again, we can kind of see this in a lot of superhero movies. At the end, the hero has saved the world. They've restored the world back to peace. They have saved the world from the evil that was threatening it. Okay? Now, after you have this all color-coded and you have it all highlighted, the homework for you guys is to make sure that you upload both your title page and this first page of notes. Okay, you guys know that they are available to you on the Google Classroom as well. And the versions that are on Google Classroom are usually very, very clear for you guys to see. I'll be doing this with the students in class on Friday. And for the students who are virtual at home, you guys can be watching this video and completing this assignment at home. Okay? It is very important that you guys get these notes down accurately. Again, because this hero's journey will provide for you the foundation for our analysis of Harry Potter in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Okay? So now, next week, you guys actually have winter break. And then the week after that, we will all be doing virtual learning. So I will see you on Monday right here from my house to your house. And we're going to be diving in, and we're actually going to be looking at an outline of the hero's journey so we can understand each one of these acts and each one of these stages. And then I'm really excited because we will begin reading Harry Potter soon after. We're going to begin reading it actually on Thursday of this week. And if I've not already given you guys your houses for what house you are going to be in Harry Potter, I will be announcing that shortly. So I'm excited to do all of that with you. So boys and girls, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your winter vacation. And I will see you here on Monday. Have a great one, guys. Bye-bye.